Welcome to this edition of Kitchen Cures, from your fridge to your pantry, finding the cures for you. We are excited today to talk about the Belly Fix. The 21-Day Belly Fix is a plan that I wrote to reset digestive health. After seeing thousands of patients, much of what they were struggling with began with their digestive health. And joining me today are two dear friends. I have Natalia, who has served as our health coach and has helped so many of you go through the Belly Fix program, and Kathy, who actively participated in the 21-Day Belly Fix 3-week plan. Thanks for joining me, both of you. I'm so happy to have you here. So Natalia, we'll start with you. You really helped guide so many people through the Belly Fix plan. What do you think were some of the common symptoms that led people to even wanting to pick up the book or do the plan?
Well, a lot of people want to drop a few pounds, but most of those people have some other things going on. They have some inflammation in the body, and they might not even know that, but we know from your work that that's what it is, and we're trying to get to the root of that. So they've got symptoms such as eczema, or it'll come out as arthritis in their joints, and also just the energy plummets in the afternoon and poor sleep at night.
And what I found is that so many people don't understand the connection between your gut health and every other aspect of your health, including energy, including skin health, so many other things. Kathy, what was the motivation for you? What made you think about, hey, I might need to do this plan and follow through?
Energy level, joint health, and just kind of the opportunity to see what I didn't know was wrong with my digestive health.
So talk to us maybe for a second about that. So many patients that I see, and I think we were talking about this before we started, they will say that, well, I just thought I was supposed to feel this way, or this is my new normal, I'm supposed to be tired, or I'm supposed to be achy, or I'm getting old. Did you go through a little bit of that as well?
Exactly. And until I went through it, I didn't realize that doesn't have to be the case. That, you don't have to get used to digestive issues at all.
So you make up your mind to do this plan,
Yeah.
You open up the book,
Yeah.
You buy all the ingredients, you put everything together. What happens next? Was it a tough plan to do? Where were points in the plan that you felt like, I just can't do this?
It wasn't a tough plan because Natalia was great and laid it all out for us. The first 3 days were probably the hardest. But after that, boy, it was like, a whole new world, and fantastic energy, just felt great, and I continue to feel great.
And Natalia, is that what you were hearing from some of the other participants as well? That, I've heard it too, those first 3 days are miserable, but as you get past those first 3 days and you start to see a change, is that some of the feedback that you were getting as well?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that. Like, what were patients complaining of, and then how were you able to guide them to stay motivated past those couple of days? I mean, I've had so many people say, I tried it, I stopped, I started, I tried it, but once they finally committed and saw it all the way through, they were so happy that they did that. So what do you think were some of the challenges, and what did you tell them to do?
Well, I think people are surprised at how challenging the first 3 days are, because you see the food and the plan laid out on paper, but then when you actually go through it, I think people don't realize how much processed food and sugars are in their diets and how much it's really affecting them, especially if they're a little older, and I'm talking like not teenage or 20s, and they have built up this stuff over the decades. So it is a detox period, and then they start to lift out of it.
And start to feel better as they move forward.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm curious, what were some of the hardest parts of the plan for you? What did you find challenging? I'm going to throw this away, I'm going to quit, I can't do this anymore, I'm done.
I think planning was the key, and just having everything set out, and making sure that I had preparation. That was a key thing, so that I wasn't sitting there going, now what do I don't have my kitchery done, and I'm up, I can't manage the first 3 days or whatever. But it really just planning. The plan was easy to me. It was not hard to follow, and as long as you were focused,
you were able to do it.
Correct.
And I helped my husband through the plan, as I've shared with so many people, but he's like, I'll do this plan, but I'm not doing all the steps. So literally I found it pretty easy too, as long as you took maybe 30-40 minutes in the morning to kind of lay it all out.
Yes.
And planning is the key, I think, with being successful with food anyways. That's what keeps us healthy, and not wanting to run into fast food the minute we're tired or hungry.
Exactly.
So, as you think forward, what were the biggest benefits of the plan? What did you really feel like once you made it through those 3 weeks? What did you start to see or notice in you? And then kind of a follow-up to that, you know, what continues to this day? It's one thing to do a plan and see a plan through, and then to rebound right after that for no apparent benefit, right? So what did what were some of the benefits as you went through the plan and that last until today?
Feeling better. I had people I didn't even know tell me my skin looked fabulous. So I was like, oh my gosh, I had like a facelift and, didn't have to go through
Woo! We like that.
any other thing. I continue to feel good, and I continue to do, like the last class we did, the things to try to do every day or continuing on, and I do that. My green drink, I love my green drink. The ginger tea, the aloe, the smoothies. I continue to do all of that because it's become a habit.
And
it makes me feel good
every day.
I do.
Fantastic.
I do.
Natalia, what did you hear from people that participated in the plan at different points in it? I know we talked about the first 3 days and how that could be tough. Moving forward throughout the next few weeks, did people get motivated to do it? And did you get any feedback after that? Like, how were they doing after the fact?
I have not heard of one person who hasn't stuck with some of portions of the plan. So either people are going back to the morning routine, they're going back to the green juices, or going back to the whole plan at times in their lives. So definitely pick up lifelong habits. That's my favorite thing about the plan.
And that excites me so much because, again, I didn't really write the book for it to be a weight loss book. That wasn't the intention.
Right.
I think I've told you guys that so many times. It was really written to reset digestive health and reset every other aspect of your health. So if you're not motivated to do the plan, do elements of the plan from time to time, and I even still bring those in. Well, thank you both for sharing your stories, and Natalia, thank you for motivating all of us to get through the plan. I hope you've enjoyed this edition of Kitchen Cures. Tune in next time for more great food ideas to keep you healthy.